Well, anyways, we go 4, 5, 6 lights. Waiting a while here for this one to go out. Lights out and away we go. Good start from the two Aston Martin boys, I think. Phil Lanky, I think, maybe actually struggled to get off the line. Here comes the Ferrari up the inside. Here comes the Mercedes with a big dive bomb. He thinks better of it, though, and gets back in line. Too wide all the way through, but there is a massive accident. 2, 3 cars caught up in that. The Haas, I think, of Jaden Evolution there, trying to hold up, but the Aston Martin had flung into him. And Phil Lanky, again, third time round. It's unlucky, and he's down in 9th place after starting on the front row, I think, possibly on pole.
Yeah.
No, I believe Sean Fitzgerald dropped him. Sorry, it's hard to tell when it's 1/1000th gap, but that's tears for him.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
Again.
Terrible luck for Phil, but we've seen Phil do some really good comebacks, so he'll have to pull out the big guns today for a good comeback to make the podium. It is Phil Lanky. Anything is possible with this guy. So, let me look. Sticker on his car, is that just the...
You're right, Mr. Cameraman.
No. Thank you for asking that. Anyway, yeah, so, again, turn 1, just getting these guys, they couldn't make it work, and now we are going to have to follow the safety car.
About to go green here, going to go really wide, get that nice launch off the corner, off and away he goes with Dudu Nazu behind him, and he actually gets a pretty good jump as well as Chester Chompers there, followed by the McLaren of Iggy, yes it is, who's done that beautiful graphic for us as he gets sent up the inside there by the Alfa Romeo. Very good move from him. Wow, on board now with Chris O'Connor as he's coming up through Rouge. He could get a very good run here if Iggy... Oh, there's a car off! That's a massive accident for Sean Fitzgerald! That's the teammate! That's the man started first and second!
Oh no, that is heartbreaking.
First and second, and that is a massive accident. And both Aston Martins find themselves now in the bottom half of the grid. That is insane, being so clear of the rest of the pack. And now they've got it all to do here with just 18 laps remaining. Probably less after this... Oh no, it's VSC, sorry. So won't have a safety car, but they will be going green soon, and that is tears for both the Aston Martin cars.
Wow. VSC
as
ending.
Dudu Nazu finds himself in first position.
2 wide, 4 wide, I don't know. There's 4 cars looking up on Iggy in the Haas of Chester Chomper.
Chester does get by Iggy. Chester does get by Iggy.
Yes.
So Iggy must have gotten a really bad run because there was a decent gap between them. And here comes Chris O'Connor trying to get the big slipstream. So they come up through our Rouge. Don't want to rear-end people. It can get a bit awkward, especially with rubber banding. Chris O'Connor now. Look at the speed. Look at the overspeed he's getting now on Iggy. Right up to the back of him, both over DRS. Not enough, though, to hold off Chris, who I've just noticed is on the hard tyres. So he's going to go long into this stint as he switches to the outside. That's almost going to be 2 moves in one straightaway around the outside. It's going to switch to the inside, but Chester holds him off, and so does the McLaren. He manages to get back by Mr. Chris O'Connor. This is good racing. Here he goes back down to the inside of Chris O'Connor, leaving him no, Chris O'Connor's to the inside of him.
Chris,
I don't believe it. Chris hits him.
Very
awkward.
No.
And that's ended in tears for Chris O'Connor, and I couldn't believe Chris O'Connor was on the inside there. Iggy drove him so hard to the inside. It's going to be a very awkward incident, though, I think, for the stewards to look at. I couldn't pin that on anyone initially. Chris looked pretty hard to the inside, but, you know, was he far enough alongside? I don't know. So that's going to be one for the stewards to debate about and sort out between themselves. But, again, just Chris O'Connor must be getting massively frustrated in that car.
Yeah, that was not what I wanted to see. I mean, Chris going on the inside. Iggy did squeeze him quite hard, but... yeah, as you said, it's going to be a fun one in the review session, so, yeah.
That might explain his poor qualifying performance. That's something that I didn't note, as Iggy now comes in and he decides to get off the medians and chuck on the hard tyres. Seems like a reasonable time, lap 9 out of 22, so the hards should be pretty easy to go to the end.
Yeah, I would just like to point out that Joe Singers has gotten a 3-second for DRS usage, and he also got one at the start of this race. I'm not sure if it was during the first sessions that were red flagged, but he did use his DRS when he should not have twice, which would lead to a 6-second time penalty if it stands. So keep that in mind.
He's used his DRS while out in front. Maybe that's just muscle memory from doing practice laps. That's very awkward to kind of open your DRS. Maybe it's just a habit that he's done from that, unless he doesn't realize, and maybe he's just using it all willy-nilly, but that's something he needs to get in check, or else he's going to have his lead eroded by these time penalties. It would be very unfortunate for him as he's leading this race, as he now dives into the pits, actually, and he's saying it's time to get off with these medium tyres.
Here we have your new leader of this race, Mattia Sanguinini. Maybe flat spotted a bit.
Chris O'Connor now pits. No, he doesn't. Yes, Chris O'Connor does pit, I think.
No, that is
we're
Mattia.
saying pits, they're not pitting, but Mattia is pitting. Chris, I was thinking that would be a bit strange for Chris to pit a bit early. But we know, I guess, the mediums can last these 10 or 11 laps, so we could see Chris pitting very soon, depending on what his pace is like on those hards. As Sean Fitzgerald again now goes fastest with a 48.9, and that's only 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds off of his pole lap on low fuel and on medium tyres. He's moving at quite a rate of knots now.
Speaking of Chester, he is getting looked up quite suspiciously by Sean Fitzgerald. Oh, there's a car off on the side. Who was that? That's Mattia Sanguinini.
Oh, Sanguinini. He seems to have gathered it back up, but here comes Sean Fitzgerald. I nearly said Sebastian Vettel as he comes around the outside at the end of the Camel Straight. Easy done, swoops around, and 2 for 1 really as he gets by Mattia, and he's up to 4th place. Wow. Now trying to chase down Dudu Nazu, who's almost our net race leader, as he's gotten right up to the back now of Chris O'Connor. He was 4 seconds back. Look at that, 1.6. So Chris O'Connor really feeling that tyre wear now on the hard tyres. So surely you'd think he's thinking of a pit stop, but that would that'd put him down all the way to P6, though,
at least,
if he bit the bullet now. So the 2 Aston Martin boys with that kind of recovery. Phil Lanke does now come into the pits, so we were right about that he needed to come in for a pit stop. So where does he filter out now? With just 7 laps to go, you'd think he'd go to the mediums. And Shimmy Will has the pit stop from the Aston Martin boys. He comes in, hits the marks.
Where's his teammate? His teammate's crossing the line now. He's going to overtake him. That's going to drop him to at least 4th, probably 5th. It goes onto the soft tires.
Oh, softs. 7 laps on the softs is going to be a bit of an ask, I think, as Chester Chumbers just outdoes him there.
Oof.
So Joe Singer's about to make an overtake, and as well as one of the Aston Martin boys. So, look at the pace difference there, and he scares himself actually with the grippier tyres. I don't know how many laps fresher, but many laps fresher, I'm sure. Tyres versus Chris O'Connor, and he's so much quicker. But patience is the name of the game here. So he just has to wait, I think, because he's got clearly so much more grip, and it will come quite easily, probably at the end of the straightaway. But he might try and be a bit brave, a bit brazen, and try and get him here towards Blanchimont. Gaining, and he's going to go to the inside. He does look to the inside, coming up towards Blanchimont, and I think he clears him. Yes, he does. Is Chris O'Connor going to fight back, though? To the outside goes Chris O'Connor, trying to go for the switchback, I would assume. Cuts in. I think he's accepted his fate there with that, and he's just going to try and tyre manage now. Doesn't want to lose too much time.
Mechanical failure, he's stuck in 4th.
He's stuck in
Slow car in a Rouge, virtual safety car
off Chris O'Connor!
Chris O'Connor has a mechanical issue. He's stuck in 4th gear.
What's happened there? Is that an equipment failure on his end?
Wow.
That is unbelievable.
He's managed to get it. He's going. He's off. So that's going to allow James Turner to maybe catch up. I've been wanting to talk about this. Iggy has been within a second of James Turner for about 2-3 laps now.
VSC ending.
Wow, so that is a mechanical failure in a virtual simulator. Who would have thought?
This could be really tasty out. Dudu Nazu is staring in his mirror, I would imagine.
Huan seems to be the bane of Singer's existence because he just loses so much time there. And let's see if Phil, does he have the speed to get past before Blanchimont? I don't think so. He's going to wait for...
I think he might after it. Yeah. Under brakes, though, into the bus stop could be the spot to go.
Oh, sorry, it's not... No!
Oh! Around the outside, I don't think that's going to work out for him. He's looking at the exit of the bus stop. He does get by him, though, with the switchback and a bit of poor camera direction and a bit of editing trickery has put Phil Lanke into the lead of this race. Joe Singers, I don't think he has much for him. I don't think he has much for him now, as on the hard tyres, he seems to be struggling for grip everywhere, but I don't think he's going to succumb to anyone behind him.
We have a car with no gear changing. We have Iggy, who Oh, Iggy does have fuel. What is happening?
Fired it up.
And then there's a car swerving ahead, unless that's the end of the race.
Oh,
Oh,
Joe
that is
Singers does get 6. It is the end of the race, so I think he waited, just didn't want to put himself through the pain of one more lap.
Yeah.
Maybe he realized he didn't have enough fuel.
So
and
there
did
is
a-
your winner. Hold on, I have to give credit where it's due. Phil Lanke went from nearly last place and has now won round 3 here at Spa. What a drive from Phil today.